Hello friends, this is a dual 2-in-1 soldering and rework station sold by India Enterprises. Two channels, one is for soldering, other one is for SMD reworking. It's a very powerful soldering and rework station. So first we will show you the maximum and minimum temperature range of soldering. Soldering iron is connected with the help of this metallic connector to the main unit. We can use this up button for increasing the temperature. Maximum temperature range is 450 but can be increased to 500 using different mode, and the minimum temperature range we can achieve by pressing this down button, which is 200 degree. However, by using a different mode we can achieve minimum temperature of 100 degree. Preferable temperature for general purpose soldering is 350 degree. It will achieve the set temperature slowly. See, it's having a dual display for set and actual temperature. This is display is for set temperature, other one is for actual temperature. Now we move to second channel, which is for hot air. As soon as we pick this handle from the support rack, the second channel is activated. With the help of this up and down button we can increase the temperature. The maximum temperature range is 500 degree and minimum temperature is, will show you, we will keep pressing this down key. Minimum temperature is 100 degree. So the temperature range for hot air is 100 to 500 degree. We will just move to 300 degree. Similarly, we can also control airflow of this hot air iron. The maximum hot air flow per minute is 120 liter and the minimum is 1 liter. So the hot air flow range is 1 to 120 liter per minute. We can choose the hot air airflow according to our choice. As soon as we keep this handle on the support rack, the sensor detects the handpiece and the temperature gradually decreases, and after achieving a temperature of 100 degrees centigrade, this second channel will be switched off. It will go to the standby mode. Now you can see the temperature is decreasing, and as soon as it reaches 100 degrees centigrade, this second channel for hot air will be switched off automatically. It will be switched on as soon as we pick this hot air iron from this support rack. See, the second channel has been switched off and it is now in standby mode. Different type of hot air nozzles for different type of ICs are provided along with this unit. These three nozzles are part of default supply. Other nozzles are optional and one can buy according to his need. We will show you how to connect this hot air nozzle with this. It is very simple uh, push to fit type nozzles, and we can remove this nozzle by using this support rack. Now we will move to the soldering part. Different type of soldering bits are provided, like this cavity type soldering bit for SMD soldering, knife type bit for SMD soldering, chisel type for different type of soldering application, slope type for solar application, and this extra wide soldering bit for high mass application. So as I explained earlier, it is having a dual display for set and actual temperature, and I already explained the maximum and minimum temperature range. Now we'll move to next step, and we will show you how to calibrate this unit. Calibration is often required to maintain the quality standards. For calibration, we need to measure the tip temperature with the help of this external calibrator. We will use fresh solder. We will wet it with fresh solder and check the actual tip temperature, which is 3 close to 340. However, the set temperature is 350, so there is a variation on the downside around 10 degrees centigrade. We will calibrate this unit, and we will show you how it is calibrated. First, we need to press this star button and press this up and down button, and now it is entered into the calibration mode. We need to enter the exact value which we have observed on the calibrator, that was 340 degree. By using the down button, we can achieve that value 340. Then again press the star button. Then the calibration is working right now, and we will verify whether the value which we have entered has been accepted by the controller, and we will check the actual temperature once again. See, the set temperature is 350 and actual temperature is close to 350. So unit is now calibrated and within the tolerance limit. A very useful feature of password locking is also available with this unit, and we can lock this soldering channel, and we can prevent the user or any unauthorized person to change the temperature without the permission of the supervisor. See how it is enabled. We will show you step by step. First, we need to switch this channel 1 off, then press this up and down button simultaneously and switch the unit on. Now the three dot will be displayed on the screen. First, then we need to press the star button. This 000 is the default password. We need to press star button once again, and then we need to press this up or down button to enter a new password. New password, suppose we select 10 as new password. We need to repeat this step once again. Again press the star button, and by using the up button we can enter numeric digit 10, then again press star button. Now the password has been set to 10. Earlier it was 000. Now to activate this locking feature, we need to switch the unit off and switch it on again, and now we can see that even after pressing this either of this up or down button, we cannot increase or decrease the temperature. This is a very useful feature which is not present in other models available in the market. So we would recommend for you to buy this unit if you are using through hole or SMD type components, and it is used for both for soldering and reworking application. So that's all we have right now. Thanks for watching. Viewers, today we are going to show you very high power 1300 watt SMD rework station model HRS61D, is sold by India Enterprises. Today we will unbox it, and we will show you the contents of this rework station and the accessories supplied along with this package. So let's open the box. This is the operating manual. You can just go through it to know various features of this rework station. This is the main unit. The hot air iron is already attached to the main unit, so it cannot be detached. It's already fixed. The power cord is also attached on the rear side of this unit. So this is a support rack for holding the hot air iron. So in this way it can be placed on this support rack. Few other parts are also supplied along with this equipment, like this grounding cord. External grounding cord can be connected to the main unit for just connecting it to external grounding point. 3 round nozzles are also supplied with this system. These are push fit type nozzles. We will show you the procedure of attaching these nozzles to the hot air iron further. So, this is a very useful pickup tool. It is also supplied with this equipment. So with the help of this pickup tool, we can remove the large size SMD components. So, these are the parts which are supplied along with this SMD rework station. A 3-pin power plug is used to power this unit. Apart from that, we can also use a separate grounding cord. We can insert it inside this banana jack, and we can connect it this crocodile clip to the external grounding. However, we are already using 3-pin plug, so there is no use to to connect it to external grounding because it is already grounded. The next step, right now it is in sleep mode, but whenever we pick this hot air iron from the support rack, the hot air is activated and the temperature starts increasing, and within a few seconds it will attain the set temperature and hot air range. See, we will show you the first. We will show you the highest temperature range, which is 500 degrees centigrade, and the lowest is 100 degrees. We will keep pressing this down button. The temperature will decrease rapidly and it will attain the lowest temperature range. Similarly, we can use this up button to increase the temperature. Similarly, on the right side, the hot air, these push buttons are provided to increase or decrease the hot air volume. The maximum hot air volume is 200 liter per minute, and if we use this down button or press this down button, we can attain the lowest hot air volume, which is 6 liter per minute. So highest temperature range is 500 degree Celsius, and the highest hot air flow is 200 liter per minute. Whenever we keep this hot air iron on this support rack, within a few seconds, and it will go in sleep mode, and the temperature is reduced, and hot air also deactivated. See, this very useful pickup tool is also supplied along with this unit. We can use this pickup tool for removing the large size or medium size SMD components. It is inserted beneath the SMD ICs packages, and from the top we will flow the hot air, and with the help of this tweezer and the hot air, the SMD components are removed. Different type of nozzles, like this four-sided heated nozzles and round hot air nozzles are also provided. We will show you how to connect it to the hot air iron. A simple push fit mechanism is used to you insert this nozzle. See this, now nozzle has been affixed to this hot air iron, and this in this way we can just pull it, the nozzle, from the hot air iron. Three Favorite temperature setting modes are also provided on the front panel. We can see here like channel 1, channel 2 and channel 3. So when we pick this hot air iron, the hot air and temperature is rising, we can select either of these channels. Like for channel 1, temperature is 200 degree and the hot air flow is 200 degree. For channel 2, the temperature setting is 300 and the hot air flow is 200 liter per minute. Similarly for channel 3, the temperature range is 400 degree and the hot air flow is 200 degrees. But according to our need, we can adjust this the temperature and hot air reading for the particular channel. Suppose if we want to set the temperature to 350 degree, we can use using the up or down button, we can attain that temperature range. And hot air flow, we can suppose if we want to select 180 degree, we can do that. And then we can press this channel 3 button for few seconds, and the reading has been saved. Like whenever we press this channel 3, the temperature which we have selected 350 degree and the respective hot air flow range is also achieved. Similarly, we can just set the temperature or hot air reading for remaining two channels. So this is a very useful feature where we can save the most used hot air and temperature reading for channel 1, channel 2 or channel 3 according to our choice. This unit is also featuring a locking feature also. Uh, Suppose if we want to just lock the temperature or hot air reading at a particular stage, we can do that with the help of this. First we need to switch the unit off, then press this channel 2 key and switch the unit on. First we will see a C will be displaying on the LCD, then SCT will be displayed. Now we will use this up temperature or down temperature key to select password of our own choice. Suppose if we want to use a password of 007, then we first we have selected 0. Then to move the cursor to next level, we need to use this up key, and again use this up button or down button to select 0. Then again press this up key to move to next step. Then we will use 7. So we have entered the password of our one choice. Then we need to press this channel 2 button once again and repeat the process. And press channel 2. Now the password has been changed to 0007, and we will show you that now the password locking is enabled. And but first we need to switch the unit off, switch it on. Now we can see that even after pressing this up or down button, we cannot change the temperature or airflow settings. It has been locked at 100 degree and 300 degree. So temperature has been locked at 300 degree centigrade and the hot air flow has been locked at 100 degree. This hot air SMD rework system is also featuring a calibration function which we can use for calibrating this system periodically to maintain the quality standards. So all we need to do is to first just check the actual temperature with the help of an external calibrator. Then if any deviation is observed, we can alter the temperature setting here. All we need to do is to in the on state, and if the locking is disabled, all we need to do is press channel 1 and channel 3 simultaneously for 15 seconds. Then the system will enter into calibration mode. Then we need to just enter the value which we have observed on an external calibrator. Suppose by using this air button and up or down temperature key button simultaneously, then press this start button, the channel 2. So this is how the this rework station is calibrated. So all this have we right now. Thanks for watching. Hello friends, uh, today we will explain you few troubleshooting steps uh, of this hot air SMD rework station HRS61D. In case you find some difficulty while operating this unit, or you encounter some error, then follow these steps to rectify the problem. So let's start. Suppose the first error you might encounter is this unit might not switch on. It might be some problem with the fuse. We need to check the fuse first. Fuse is located on the rear side of this unit. We need to take out the fuse with the help of this star screwdriver. We need to take out this fuse holder and check the continuity with the help of a multimeter. Beep should be heard. Yeah, it means the fuse is perfect. Otherwise, if you find the fuse faulty, then you need to replace it with a good one. Then we need to reinsert this fuse holder inside this socket and just fix it. Second problem you might encounter, the display, when the display flashes and it indicates SC error. Yeah. We can see SC error is flashing on the display. It means there might be some problem with the sensor or the heating element. We need to check the both. And let us see how heating element is checked. We need to take out this soldering iron from the support rack and just remove this cover. Then we need to just unscrew these 4 screws. Now we have removed the 3 screws with the help of a screwdriver, and we need to just take out this heating element by pulling it. See, this is an integrated type of heating element. Both the sensor and heater are embedded inside this enclosure. These two pins are connected to the heating element, and the on the other side these two sockets are connected to the sensor. So first we will measure the resistance of heating element by using a multimeter. So we are measuring the resistance of this sensor. So ideally it should be less than 50 ohm, but I think it is visible that it is more than 50 ohm. It means the sensor is faulty. Similarly, we can measure the resistance of heating element as well. It should be less than 2 ohm. It should be less than 2 ohm or 3 ohm. We can see it is less than 2 ohm. It means the heating element it is okay, but the sensor is faulty. In case you find the resistance of heating element more than 2 or 3 ohm, then you might need to replace the heating element as well. But now since both the heating element and sensor are integrated, we need to replace the whole heating element enclosure with a new one. Now we have taken a brand new heating element. We will verify first whether it is okay or not. We will measure the resistance of sensor first. It is less than 50 ohm. It means the sensor is now okay. And similarly we will measure the resistance of heating element as well. It should be less than 2 or 3 ohm. Yeah, it is less than 2 ohm. It means now the heating element and the sensor both are perfect. We need to just insert this heating element inside the holder, the iron holder, by pushing it. Here push fit mechanism is there. You have to align the pins along with the socket and then push it inside. Then we need to again fix these 3 screws with the help of a screwdriver. See, we have fixed all these 3 screws on their respective position. We need to now just fix the cap as well by rotating it clockwise. Now this iron is ready to use. We will verify whether it is working or not. We will switch it on and take the iron from the iron holder. Now we can see the airflow is perfect and the temperature is also rising. Yeah, you can see now it is working. Earlier it was showing some error, but now the error has been resolved and the unit is working fine now. So this is how the troubleshooting is performed. Thanks for watching. So viewers, today we are presenting a very high power SMD rework station for reworking small to large SMD ICs and other chip components. So we will show you the complete details of this product and the contents supplied along with this equipment, and we will also show you the few accessories which you can buy optionally. So let's start and open this box first. First thing you will see is the operating manual. It contains useful information regarding operation and maintenance of this rework station. Next is the main unit. We will take it out from the box. We need to just remove this packing from the main unit. So this is the support rack. It is used for keeping the hot air iron when not in use. Few extra nozzles are also supplied along with this SMD rework station. These are round in shape, so it can cater different type of SMD chip components. So it can be used for various type of square, dual inline and small SMD components. Uh, an external grounding cord is also provided along with this equipment. It is used for connecting this equipment to the external ESD grounding. Next thing is this tweezer. It is a very useful tool. It exerts gentle pressure on the SMD chip component, and whenever we supply hot air from the top, then with the help of this tweezer we can easily remove the large to medium size SMD chip component. Show you the how it is connected to the main power with the help of the 3-pin plug. However, we can use external cord. We can insert this banana plug into the socket, and then we can connect this crocodile clip to the external grounding if it is required. The next step is how to increase or decrease the temperature. First we need to lift the iron from the support rack, because whenever we do this, the hot air is activated and the temperature starts increasing, and whenever we keep it back on the support rack, it will go into the sleep mode and it will be automatically switched off. So this is very useful. Now we will show you the maximum and minimum temperature reading. It can go up to 500 degrees centigrade, and on the bottom side it can go up to 100 degrees centigrade. Similarly, with the help of these push buttons, we can increase or decrease the hot air flow. The maximum hot air flow is 120 liter per minute, and if you keep pressing this down button, then we can see that the minimum hot air flow is 1 liter per minute. There are 3 different channels available on the front panel, and each channel denotes a set temperature and hot air flow. Channel 2 is 300 is selected 300 and hot air flow of 120 liter. Similarly for channel 3, 400 degree is the temperature and 120 liter is the hot air flow. But according to our own choice, we can adjust this reading, and we can choose our own favorite temperature or hot air flow. Suppose if we want to alter the use a different reading for channel 1, we can do that. All we need to do this by pressing the up or down button, select this the suitable temperature, and similarly select the hot air flow according to our own choice, and press this channel 1 button for few seconds, and the reading we have chosen is automatically saved at channel 1. Similarly, we can do the same procedure for channel 1 or channel 3, so channel 2 or channel 3 if it is required. Different type of hot air nozzles are provided, like this 4-side heating nozzle for large size ICs, universal round nozzles, and this pickup tool is also provided along with the unit. With the help of this pickup tool, we can remove SMD components by inserting this tool beneath the SMD component, and just give hot air from the top, and with the help of this combination, we can easily remove hot air. With the help of this combination, we can easily remove SMD ICs. We will show you how to just use these nozzles. This is very easy to insert in this hot air iron. We can simply push it inside, and for removing we can use this slot for removing the hot air nozzles. This hot air rework station is also equipped with a locking feature, by the help of which we can lock this station at a certain temperature and hot air flow. So we will show you how to activate this feature. First we need to switch the unit off and press the channel 2 key and switch the unit on. First we will encounter C, then we will see that this blank is flashing on the display. All we need to do is to use this up temperature or down but temperature key to select a favorite password. Like if we want to use 005 as our password, we need to select this 0 first, then to move to next step we need to press this up side air button, then again 0, again this up button, and select 5, then press channel 2 once again and repeat the same process. And then press channel 2. Now the password has been saved. The password we selected was 005, so the same password has been saved. And once we switch the unit off and then switch it on, we can see that we cannot change the temperature. Temperature has been locked, and similarly we cannot change the hot air flow. So the temperature and hot air flow has been locked at certain level, and without changing the password or without inputting the password, we cannot change the temperature or hot air reading. The this hot air rework station is also featuring a calibration function. By using it, we can periodically calibrate this unit to maintain the quality standards and for uniform reworking. We will show you how to calibrate this unit. First we need to just measure the temperature of this hot air iron with the help of an external calibrator, and if any deviation is observed, then we can just change the temperature setting inside this unit. In the on state, when the hot air iron is on and the unit is in unlocked state, all we need to do is to press channel 1 and channel 3 simultaneously for 15 seconds. After 15 seconds it will enter into the calibration mode, and we can just with the help of this temperature key, up down key, and this to move the cursor further, we can use this hot air key, and we can just enter the value which we have observed on the external calibrator, and this is how the calibration is done. And after once we enter the value, the actual value which we have observed, then again press the channel 2 button to save the temperature reading, the actual temperature reading. So this is how the unit is calibrated. So that's all we have right now. Thanks for watching. Hello viewers, today we will explain you few troubleshooting steps which you can follow if you face any problem while using this SMD workstation HAS60W. So few steps we will be explaining to you. So let's start. Suppose if the unit is not switching on, then you need to check this fuse, whether the fuse is faulty or not. There is a fuse holder located on the rear side of this unit. With the help of an screw head, star head screwdriver, you can just remove this fuse holder, and you can check the continuity of the fuse with the multimeter. And if the fuse is found faulty, then you can replace it with a suitable fuse. If the continuity is okay, then the fuse is okay, then you need to just fix it back to the fuse socket, and use a screwdriver to just fix it inside this fuse socket. This is how the fuse can be checked and changed. And next, one more error we can see while when switching on the unit, the SE will be flashing on the display. It means either the heating element or the sensor is faulty. As heating element and sensor are embedded in one enclosure, so we need to replace the whole enclosure if it is found faulty. So let's proceed and check the continuity of heating element and sensor with the help of a multi. First we need to take off this soldering iron. Sorry, yeah. Let us check this hot air iron. We need to just take it from the iron holder and remove this cap first by unscrewing it. Then we need to use a screwdriver to open these three screws mounted on this handle. Now we have removed all three screws from this. Now we can just take out this heating element enclosure. It is sensor is also embedded inside this heating element enclosure. It is having a push fit type mechanism. So we will use a multimeter to verify the resistance of both these heating element and sensor. Since both are embedded in one enclosure, we will check the resistance between these two pins. These two pins are of sensor. So the resistance is almost more than 20 mega ohm. It means the sensor is faulty. Ideal resistance should be less than 50 ohm. Then we will check the resistance of a heating element as well. We will check the resistance in between these two pins. These two pins uh, are of heating element. So the ideal resistance should be less than 2 ohm, and it is less than 1 ohm. So it means heating element is perfect, but the sensor is faulty. We need to replace the whole enclosure, as both the heating element and sensor are embedded in one enclosure. Now we will replace this faulty heating element with a perfect one. We will take this a new heating element enclosure. Now we have taken a new heating element. First, before fixing it to the handle, we will verify the resistance of both the sensor and the heating element. So we can see the resistance of sensor is less than close to 40 ohm. It means this now sensor is perfect. Now again we will verify the resistance between these two pin. These two pin denotes heating element. So it means the resistance of heating element also okay. So in this enclosure both the sensor and heating element are okay, and now we will just fix it to the handle, and then we will just fix the three screws as well, which we removed earlier. We can see that heating element can be fixed to the handle by pushing it inwards. Now we will fix these 3 screws. Now we have fixed all 3 screws to the handle. Now we will just fix this cap as well, and then we will see whether the problem we were facing has been resolved or not. We will switch the unit on. Now we can see the temperature is rising sharply, and the airflow is also okay. It means now the hot air iron is working fine. It means it clearly indicates that the problem we were facing has been resolved by replacing the heating element cum sensor enclosure. So in this way we can just resolve the few issues which we might encounter while using this SMD rework station. So I hope you have liked this video. Thanks for
Friends, we are going to show you video of 3-in-1 multifunctional rework system MFRS 500 sold by India Enterprises. This is very useful for reworking SMD and PTH components, and it can operate all 3 tools simultaneously. Temperature of all 3 tools can be seen simultaneously on the large display. Before starting this unit, we need to remove the 4 screws beneath this unit. We will show you the position of these 4 screws. We are removing 1 screw. Similarly, other 3 screws should also be removed. These 4 screws are placed here to ensure the safety of desoldering pump during transportation. See, now all 4 screws have been removed and the unit is now ready to use. Now we will show you how to connect the soldering and desoldering tools to the main unit. First we will show you soldering iron. Soldering iron should be connected to tool 1. Then desoldering iron should be connected to tool 2. The suction pipe of desoldering iron should be connected to the main unit positioned alongside the tool 2. This external filter should be connected to the main unit. We will show you which side to be connected to the main unit, and the other side should be connected to the pipe facing the desoldering iron. Now tool 3, that is hot air, is permanently connected to tool 3. Now we will switch the unit on, and this large display is simultaneously showing temperature of all 3 tools. This is the temperature of channel 1, that means soldering iron. This is showing the temperature of channel 2, desoldering iron, and the third one is the temperature of tool 3, hot air iron. Now we will show you how to change the temperature of individual channel. We will first select tool 1, soldering iron, then we will press the buttons to adjust the temperature. We can adjust the temperature in this way. Then we will move to tool 2, desoldering iron. Then we will adjust the temperature by pressing the push buttons. Then we will move to tool 3, that is hot air iron. We can increase the temperature of hot air iron by pressing these push buttons. Similarly, we can increase the airflow rate by pressing push button. In this way we can increase the airflow rate of hot air iron also. It is highly recommended to connect the soldering and desoldering tools to the appropriate channel. If we try to connect the soldering iron to tool 2, the unit will give an alarming sound and it will give a error message. So it is highly recommended to connect the soldering and desoldering tools to the appropriate channel as told before. Different type of soldering tips are available for the soldering iron. These include knife type, pointed type, chisel type, different type of soldering tips for different applications. Similarly, various type of desoldering nozzles are also available for the desoldering iron according to different size of components to be desoldered. Variety of hot air nozzles are also available for connecting to the hot air iron for different type of applications like round hot air nozzles, two side heated nozzles, four side heated nozzles. These nozzles are useful for reworking different type of SMD ICs. This rework system can be connected to the PC with the help of this RS232 USB cable. Supporting software will also be provided along with this cable for connecting it to the PC. The buyer can also purchase two optional accessories with this rework system. First one is infrared preheating plate IRPH4 for providing bottom heating to the multi-layer PCBs while reworking to avoid the thermal shock. Second one is hot air iron stand integrated with adjustable PCB fixture for holding different type of PCBs effectively. Now we will show you how to place the hot air iron on this hot air iron stand. First we will insert this adapter to accommodate the hot air iron, and then in this way we can see that the hot air iron is inserted into this hot air iron stand. We can move the hot air iron upwards and downwards with the help of this knob for focusing it onto the PCB. We can also adjust the width of this PCB fixture to accommodate different type of PCBs. Now we will move to the next part, infrared preheating plate. We will switch it on and switch the warm button also. Now temperature is gradually rising to attain the set temperature. It is having dual display. First one is showing the temperature of preheating plate. Other one is we will first connect the thermocouple to the main unit. Now it is showing the temperature of thermocouple. We will move the thermocouple to the top of preheating plate, and we will see that it is measuring the temperature of preheating plate. Now it is showing two temperatures. One of the we can adjust the temperature of preheating plate by pressing small push buttons. In this way we can increase or decrease the temperature. Friends, we are going to show you video of 3-in-1 multifunctional rework system MFRS 500 sold by India Enterprises. This is very useful for reworking SMD and PTH components, and it can operate all three tools simultaneously. The rework system also features an inbuilt vacuum pickup and vacuum pickup can be extracted by rotating this knob, and rubber insert pad should be fixed on top of this vacuum inlet. Vacuum can be activated by pressing the vacuum button on the front panel. This feature can also be used for pick and place the SMD IC. For deactivating the vacuum, we will again press the vacuum button and the SMD. Now we will remove a large size SMD IC with the help of a preheat plate, and on top of it we will flow hot air. See, we have affixed this PCB in the adjustable PCB holder, and we will also place a thermometer close to this SMD IC to measure its actual temperature. We will switch the unit on, and we will move the hot air iron downwards and just place it on top of the IC. See, the hot air is blowing from the upward direction, and from bottom heating preheat plate is generating the heat, and hot air is blowing, and we will see when the thermocouple is measuring the temperature of IC. When it will achieve 250 degrees Celsius temperature or more, then we will activate the vacuum and lift the IC. Now it has achieved, and now we will see the SMD IC has been removed successfully and without damaging any track. We will move to the through-hole desoldering part. In this step, we will explain how to desolder the through-hole components. We will first apply some flux on the pin to be desoldered. Then we will pick the desoldering iron and place the nozzle on the pin to be desoldered. We will keep it here for few seconds, then we will rotate it and then activate the vacuum button. We will see that first pin is desoldered, then we will move to next pin. Same procedure will be followed. Now we will see the last pin is desoldered and the component we are desoldering is taken out. Now we will move to the maintenance part of desoldering iron. The solder is collected inside this solder collection tube. First we will pull this trigger down and take this solder collection tube out. We will show you where the solder is collected. Solder is collected inside this spring. We need to clean this spring regularly, and then after cleaning we'll again place it back and keep this solder collection tube on the desoldering iron. Pull it back and then again press this back portion to lock it again. Few spares are also provided along with the desoldering iron. These spares can be used when the older one are to be replaced. Now we will show you how to clean the desoldering nozzle. Choose the cleaning pin according to internal diameter of the desoldering nozzle and just insert it inside the nozzle and pull it back. We will move to the next step and show you the function of soldering iron. We will solder a small chip component with the help of soldering iron. First we will apply some flux on the part to be soldered. Then we will place the SMD component and align it. Now the component is aligned along with the track of PCB, and one track is being soldered. See, the leads are being soldered one by one, and we have successfully soldered this small chip component to the PCB. Okay. Now we will show you how to change the soldering tip in hot condition. A silicone pad is provided along with the soldering iron to change the tip in hot condition. Simply we need to pull the soldering tip and insert the other soldering tip by pushing it inwards. Now we will explain the calibration feature of this rework system. We will measure the tip temperature of soldering iron with the help of external calibrator. We will apply some solder wire and then we will measure the tip temperature. Now the set temperature is 350 degree, but the value observed on the thermometer is 367. We will input the value observed on the thermometer into this unit. We will first press tool 1, then we simultaneously press and hold temperature up and down temperature button. The unit will enter into calibration mode. We will input the value we have observed on the thermometer, that is 367, and then press the vacuum button. Now the offset value given to the unit is accepted, and we will then verify the temperature once again. Set and actual temperature is almost same, and the soldering iron has been calibrated. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.